For fools, we speak by commandment. Guinea hath passed that age, our books must go persuasively, yea, in the mean. To dictate to the learned, is to cast one's treasures into the fire. By asking them questions, we can often lead them. Coaxing, with effect, is greater than dictation unobeyed. We preach to the rich man, that he should give all he hath to the poor, and he walketh away, giving nothing. When we say to him, give a little, he doeth it. Herein the higher doctrine is the lower, and the lower doctrine is the higher, because it hath potency. The ancients said, the first best thing was to love the Creator. I think so too. But when a philosopher asketh me to prove that the Creator is a person, and is worth loving, I am puzzled. To accept him as a person, and as all good, without criticism, this I find giveth the greatest happiness. I have seen men who would pull the Creator to pieces, and weigh his parts, to know his worth, but such men end in disbelief in him. One such man who accomplished any good in the world, I have not found. He is in the presence of goodly men, like a fly that delighteth in breeding maggots, pretty enough in himself, but a breeder of vermin in the state. Yet he who saith, let the evil practice evil, because the Creator created them, is of a narrow mind. Or, if he saith, Jehovah sent the rainstorm to destroy the harvest, or, Jehovah sendeth fevers to the dirty city, such a man lacketh discretion in words and judgment. But he who perceiveth that man is part of the creation, in which he must do a part of the work himself, or fevers will result, such a man hath his understanding open in regard to the Father. But twixt the two, much casting of all things in Jehovah's face, and too little belief in him, lieth a mean, which worketh the perfection of man. To try to find the Creator with love and adoration, instead of with a dissecting knife, this leadeth man on the highest road. To trust in him, wherein we strive to do our best, this is good philosophy. To lay about idly, and not plant our fields, trusting in him, this is great darkness. The wise man, perceiving the defects of the society, will not censure it, but turn to, and find a remedy. It is for such purpose the angels of the higher heavens raise up great men in the world. I have seen many people in many different kinds of worship, and they go through their parts in the sacrifice without perceiving the spiritual idea of the founders, and they are neither better nor worse for it. The infidel, with little discretion, seeing this, abuseth all the doctrines, but a wise man goeth between them to find the good which others lose sight of. To find all the beauties in a man or woman, or in their behavior, this is godlike. To find their faults and speak of them, this is devilish. Yet, consider the man reverently, who speaketh not of persons. Who knoweth, may not all men be as automatons, some in the hands of gods, and some in the hands of devils? Such a doctrine would make us less severe with those who are, or who do evil. We hope for this. I have seen the criminals being whipped, and I have said to myself, only, by a mere circumstance of birth, the wrong ones are being lashed. Otherwise, they had been governors of the states. I once helped a bad man to elude his pursuers, and he escaped whipping, and he reformed himself. Since then, I have been a convert to great leniency. The time will come when bad men will not be whipped nor tortured, but be appropriated to benefit the province. To shape our laws for such interpretation is the beginning of wisdom in the government. To appropriate all men to the best use, this is the wisest governor. To punish a bad man for vengeance sake, this is devilish. If a man slay my sister, I raise my sword up before him, that he may run against it, but I strike him not. To reform a man is better than to kill him. To lock up a bad man, where he can do no harm, is sufficient for the state. I have watched the soldiers in drill, and I said, this is a beautiful sight. For I saw the colors of their clothes, and the poetry of their maneuvers. But I watched them again, and I said, this is wicked. For I looked into the object of the drill, and I beheld blood and death. The state useth power by violent means, but the soul within us desireth to accomplish peacefully. The standard of a wise man, to judge wisely, requireth of him to imagine he is a god, high up in heaven, and that all men are his children. He should consider them, as a whole, and beneficially. This I perceive, there were a few wise men among the ancients, as wise as the wisest of this day. But today there are more wise men than in the ancient times. Doth this not lead us to believe that a time will come when all people will be wise? I should like to see this, it would settle many vexed questions. The seers tell us the soul of man is immortal, moreover, that they have seen the spirits of the dead. I tried for many years to ascertain if this were true, but I could not discover. Nevertheless, I said, it is a good doctrine, I will appropriate it. The Creator must have perceived it also. It is reasonable, then, that he created man immortal. The priests have appropriated this doctrine also. Moreover, the ancients say, the good are rewarded in heaven, and the evil punished in hell. The people have been told this, and yet they will not be good. Chine said, to deny oneself, and to labor for others with all our wisdom and strength, this is the highest doctrine. I saw a man on a mountain, calling to his flocks in the valleys, but they understood him not, and came not. Then he came midway down the mountain, and called, and the flocks heard him, and understood, and they went up to him. It is easy to plan out high doctrines, but not so easy to give an efficient doctrine. He who is midway is the most potent. I have observed that all peoples have higher doctrines than they live up to. Yea, the boast of one religion over another is relatively of its superior height in the doctrines enunciated. And yet they who boast thus practice neither virtue nor sincerity, for they live not up to the commonest doctrines. On the other hand, the boast of a government is not of its virtues and goodness, and its fatherly care of the helpless, but of its strength in arms, and its power to kill. And these are the lowest of attributes. To reach the government, and make it virtuous and fatherly, I was born into the world. This can be done only through the family, then to the hamlet, then to the province, and then to the empire. But I could not do this without sincere men, who would faithfully practice my doctrines. That ye are sincere, it is proved in your being with me, that you are virtuous and discreet, with propriety, is proved in you giving ear to my words. Yet, in this, how can I be sincere? I say, my words, when, in fact, I feel that no words I utter before the council are my words in fact. Is this not true of all good men? Wherein they are mouthpieces for the gods or for the circumstances surrounding them. We open our mouth and speak, but where do our ideas come from? When the sun shineth on the field, the herbs come forth, is it not the Creator's light falling upon us that causeth our ideas to come forth? And if we keep away the grass and weeds, we receive a profitable harvest. I would that all men would write a book on the Creator. Thought, directed in this way, will not go far from the right road. To feel that He is with us, hearing all our words, seeing all our deeds, is this not the surest foundation to teach our children? To make them sincere, and to behave with propriety, what is so potent as faith in the Creator, and in His Son, Shang Te, that is, the true God,